Hi everyone, how's it going? As you've probably determined from the title of this video, I'm going to show you a comparison between the Insta360 One X and its predecessor, the Insta360 One, and basically going to show you the difference between the two, what you can expect, whether it's worth upgrading from this to this. I'm just going to show you some video, we're going to talk about it, and we're going to have a look at the difference between the quality and what you can get, and I guess my experience of using both of these cameras so far. So let's take a look at the video right now. We can have a look at this first clip shot with both the Insta360 One and the newer Insta360 One X, and there is a difference. There is quite a big difference actually between the two. For a start, the Insta360 One X can shoot 5.7K for 360 video, that's the maximum it can shoot, and the Insta360 One, the original, can only shoot 4K. So this difference in resolution alone means that there will be a difference in the quality, and you can pretty much see that here. Footage shot with the One X is certainly a lot sharper. If you look at the side that's shot with the Insta360 One, it's kind of got a blue tinge, it's a bit soft, it's a bit blurred, and yeah, especially in the distance, you can't really see the details nearly as clearly as you can in the One X video. This next clip pretty much shows the same thing. This was shot in basically exactly the same time and exactly the same conditions. The One X is certainly, again, shooting video a lot sharper, a lot more detailed, and especially in the distance, if we zoom into one of the buildings in the distance on the One X video, and then switch over to the One, and we'll see the difference between the two, and you can definitely see that the Insta360 One X is shooting sharper, more detailed video, which is very important for 360 video. If you are going to view it on a VR headset, or even if you're going to view it on Facebook or YouTube, you want it to be as sharp as possible, because basically 360 videos require a lot of pixels to look good, so the higher the better. However, pixels aren't the only thing you need to consider when you purchase a 360 camera or when you choose between these two, because it also matters about the quality of the lenses, which affects how they capture light and color, and affects the overall look of the image and the overall look of the video. For example, in this comparison here, I can pretty much see a big difference between the two, especially if you look towards the top of the video. There is a lot more noise in the video shot with the Insta360 One. That's that kind of fuzziness, which very much adversely affects the look of the video. And on the Insta360 One X side, it's a lot better. There is still a little bit of noise, and you're going to get that with low light scenarios like this, but it's a lot better, and the dynamic range of this video is a lot more impressive and attractive. So guys, I think you're getting the picture here, that the Insta360 One X is better at shooting video than the One. I mean, that is pretty much what you would expect from the sequel, from the next generation of this camera, but I just wanted to show you the difference, you know, what you can expect, how much better it's going to be, and in pretty much every aspect it is better, especially for video. Both of them can shoot very good moving video, they have the same kind of stabilization technology, so it is pretty much confirmed that the One X shoots a lot better video than the Insta360 One. So if you did already own the Insta360 One, and you've owned it for a while, and you like the software, you like the app, because it's got a very good app, but you wanted higher quality video, then the One X is probably going to be suited for you, because it uses the same software, it uses a similar app, and but it's improved pretty much in every aspect in terms of video. The One X can also shoot 4K video at 50 frames per second. The One can shoot 4K at, I think, 25 or 30 frames per second. I'm not quite sure which one it is. Anyway, 50 frames per second means you can shoot slow motion video or create some slow motion effects, which look really, really good, whereas you can't really do that with this without it looking kind of very poor quality. Now I'm going to quickly talk about the photography capabilities of both cameras, because a lot of people used the Insta360 One as a camera for taking 360 photos and tiny planets, and this camera was actually one of the best for doing that, because it could shoot 24 megapixel photos, which is very high. Megapixels is a very high amount of pixels, and that's generally a good thing when shooting 360 photos as well. Yeah, and a lot of people were thinking maybe that the One X won't be as good for photos because the resolution is limited to 18 megapixels. You know, that would imply that maybe it doesn't look as sharp and it doesn't look as good because there's not as many pixels to play with when you shoot the photos. However, if we have a look here, you will see that that is not necessarily the case. Now, I've scaled them down so that they're the same size, but you can see here that the One X still shoots more attractive photos than the One, despite having lower resolution, and that is again because of the different lenses, different quality lenses, which is far more important for shooting good looking photos than just resolution. The colors look much better, much more realistic. It's not blurred at all. I mean, in the distance you can still see some details. The One X, I think, is just doing a much better job all around. So guys, I'm pretty sure you're getting the picture now. I would recommend the Insta360 One X over the original, and that's not surprising, but I'm just saying that it isn't a little upgrade, it's a very big upgrade. You do have to pay a little bit more. I think this is for the $399, and now I'm assuming this will go down in price, so it might be a bit of a bargain if you want just a cheap 360 camera that's still fairly decent. It's a bit dated now, but I mean, it still does the job. But yeah, this is a big upgrade from the One, and I will probably cease to be using this ever again, probably, because this is just so much better. Not only in terms of photos and videos, it's just much easier to use. It has manual controls, it has a screen here, so you can change the settings and pretty much control the camera entirely from the camera itself, whereas the One doesn't. It just has one button, can't really control anything. And also with this camera, there is no Wi-Fi preview or Wi-Fi connection. You can't transfer files over Wi-Fi, whereas with this you can preview your image and you can transfer your files, which was a big deal. It's a big upgrade, and it makes it so much easier to use on a day-to-day basis. So guys, that's my comparison between the Insta360 One X and the Insta360 One. Now I will leave you to decide which one is best for you, but in my opinion it's this one here. This is the much better device. It's a much better camera. It's definitely worth paying that little bit extra. Yeah, it's just all around better camera, and it's actually one of the best 360 cameras I've ever used. It's certainly the best value. So yeah, I guess that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There are some other comparisons on this channel. You can check out the review of this camera on my channel. There'll be links below. If you want to buy this camera, then I also have a link for that, and you can get a free selfie stick that kind of makes itself invisible. It's specially designed for this camera, so if you use that link, then you can get that for free. So I guess that's it. Bye.